quiet and we need to answer the question. Name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, one God. Amen. We talk today about second canonical books. The people they see the St. George Youth magazine, you found now they start put some topic about second canonical books. If you look to our Bible, the one you have in your hand, you're not gonna find this second canonical books. Like last article was last magazine. Anyone here read it? What was the last article in last St. George magazine? Last one was black. Was talking about wisdom. Wisdom of what? Who working in the magazine now? You're helping in the magazine, that's right? Imagine you helping the magazine and you not even read. You expect the people outside can read? Alright. Was the wisdom wisdom of Jesus, son of Sarah. Where we found this book? This book, you found it when we talk about second canonical books. What are second canonical books? Second canonical books, it's a big topic. We never can cover in one session like this or one topic. It takes a lot of time. Take from me around 22 years search to finish this second canonical books. When I was in theological college and we have assignment was about Book of T0BIT, the one first book I published. I was looking to all the books, all library, anyone to write anything about Book of T0BIT will not have any. So I decided after I finish, I start to do more search. I got all encyclopedia about Nicene and post-Nicene and anti-Nicene Father. Anyone here heard about this before? This one is about maybe 38 volume. I got it at home and I start to search. What the Father of the Church say about these books and type of these books? Why these books not in our Bible? And why we not use them often in our church? So start to search until I did all of them. We translate 4 of them in English and English from Arabic, and we're starting try to translate them. If you go on my website, you have wahib.com, you found all the books, Arabic and there's one English you found. If you go on my website, you found all the sermon about second canonical books I gave. And YouTube, now we start to download it all in YouTube, so a lot of people, they can know about second canonical books. I will give some questions at the beginning to see the knowledge for our young new servant, how they're going with our Bible. How many books in our Bible? Anyone here remember? How many books in our Bible? 66, very good. You always remember the 66, exactly like book of Isaiah was 66 chapters. We have after this one, we have another 7 books. So how many books do we have in our Bible? 73. We have 73 books. Okay? So we got 73 books in our Bible. How many people wrote our Bible, you think? How many people wrote our Bible? Any idea? We have about 47 people. We have about 47 people, they wrote our Bible. Some of them write 14. Who's the saint wrote 14 books of our Bible? St. Paul. Who's wrote 5 books from our Bible? Yes. Not all of them, but yes, I passed this one. Okay? Because Joshua, he continued for some. St. John the Beloved. St. John the Beloved, he wrote. How many books did St. Luke wrote? 2. Which one? Acts and Gospel of St. Luke. So we got 47 people wrote our Bible. We got 73 books in our Bible. How many years do you think it took them to write the Bible?
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. I know a lot. More than your age, I think. But how many?
400 and something, I don't know.
1,600 years. Close, very close. If we say Book of T0BIT takes 3 years, we say Book of Matthew 1 year. If we say Book of Revelation 2 years, and they calculate these years, they found 1,600 years. Take them to write this Bible. All right, how many chapters in our Bible?
3,000.
Thank you very much.
72.
1,335 chapters. So remember again, 47 persons wrote the Bible, 73 books, takes him 1,600 years, and we have 1,335 chapters. How many verses in our Bible?
I don't know. 5,200.
Very.
4,300.
That means not every book. Yeah, I know. But that's if you don't mathematics.
I don't I failed. Yeah.
Around 33,000.
I was closer than my other guesses. All right.
How many minor prophets in our Bible? How many? Minor prophets. How many minor prophets in our Bible? 12. 12. How many major prophets? 4. So why I have to ask you this question? What do you think? Why I have to ask you before I start this question? When can you be servant? Well, is it going next year? You're going to be a servant next year or next year? Alright, if one of the kids stand up and ask you, son, someone asked me a question I don't know. How many people wrote our Bible? What you gonna tell him?
Thank you, Guru. Thank you, Guru.
Next week I tell you. Okay? And that's very good answer. That's the best if you don't know. Don't get something because now they're gonna go and ask someone and come. Alright? Next week the guy come and they said, son,
You're wrong.
What's the second canonical books? How many books? Why is it not in our Bible? What you gonna say? Next week I come to you. Third week he can ask you a question. What you think about yourself as a servant? You understand me? If you go to school and you ask the teacher question and you expect him he know, that's what we think is they know everything. If you go to him and ask him question and he doesn't know, you come again, he doesn't know. What do you think about this teacher? You know, and you have to be very careful. In our time it was hard, these kids get knowledge. Now it's very quick. They can find the answer. And if you say something wrong, they can come and they not understanding maybe you didn't study or didn't do. They can embarrass you in the class. Honest. Because they kids, they want to challenge you. They look to us, we should know everything. So just be careful because what I explained, you can be a servant, you can stand in the class, you expect a question coming from anywhere, from anyone. And these young people, the year 4 now, in our time he was year 4, our year 4 now he know maybe year 7 or 8. Year 10, maybe he know knowledge like university now. Because the technology now and the media, they have everything else. So very important, I repeat this one again. So we got 73 books, our Bible plus second canonical books. We got 1,600 years took them to write the Bible. We got 47 writers. We got 1,335 chapters, 33,000 verses. We got 12 minor prophets and 4 major prophets. Okay? The Bible we have in our hands, it's written, it's printed by the Protestant Church. These 9 books, or the separate, or 7, they not include because the Protestant Church, they not believe in them, and we explain why. So that's why you not found it here. So if you look to this Bible, you found like all the church believe in this. But second canonical books, you found all the Catholic, type of Catholic church, Roman Catholic, Coptic Catholic, Armenian Catholic, any Catholic church, they believe in this book, and any type of Orthodox. And any type of Orthodox, they believe in this book. Russian Orthodox, Macedonian Orthodox, Coptic Orthodox, they believe in second canonical books. And if you see the Greek books, the Greek Bible, you found this includes the Greek Bible. If we need to look Why these books, the 9 books, not in this Bible? Number one, some of the books written after Ezra the priest, he collecting the Old Testament. So some of them was written after, that's why they not include. When Ezra the priest collecting the Old Testament and he started to put Old Testament in order, some of these books written after. And some of these books they didn't found because, as you know, the Israelites was separate everywhere. Everywhere they were separate. So some of them have some type of these books and some have these books, some they collect the books, and after they come back from captivity, they start to restructure this Bible again. They found that some of these 7 Old Testament not there. After the church take it and they have to look to this, and they found this as a canonical, because they not include here, they call it second canonical books. If we look in our house, it's very important books. If you look, someone open for me book of John, chapter 10, verse 22. To show you how this book's canonical and why this book's important in our church. The book of John, chapter 10, verse 22. Did anyone found it yet? Yep, can you read for us?
Now there's a beautiful dedication to Jesus walking and
Okay, that's enough for me. Dedication feast. Did we hear about dedication feast before? Did we know where this dedication feast come from? This dedication feast, when you read first book of Maccabees, you found the Syrian army, they take over Jerusalem, and in the temple they get pigs and they kill it in the temple, in their temple. And the pigs for Jewish is unclean, like Muslims, they hate it. So after they take back their altar and take back Jerusalem, they start dedicate this altar again. They took the rocks, they put it somewhere until they said another prophet come and give advice what we should do with these rocks, and they rebuilt this temple, and with every year they celebrate when they come back and took the Jerusalem over from their enemy. This is the dedication feast. Jesus himself, to show you how important, he used to go and celebrate this feast in Jerusalem. So if Jesus himself consider this one and take it very important and to go celebrate this feast, that means, and this feast only happen in Second Chronicle books, that means this book's very important to us. If we go to know the name of these books, number one, the book of T0BIT, the one we'll go through very quick today. Number two, book of Judas. Number three, we have Esther in our Bible, but something called compilation of Esther. Number four, we have Daniel in our Bible, we have something called compilation of Daniel. Number five, wisdom of Jesus, son of Sirach, wisdom of Solomon, first Maccabees, second Maccabees, and book of Baruch. It's 9 books. 7 separate and 2 compilation. That's the second canonical books. Some people, they call it Apocrypha, or maybe you hear this name. Apocrypha, we not take this name serious, because what mean Apocrypha, that means the hidden, or something you're talking about mythology or something. It's not true, not really. The church not agree with this name at all. They call it first canonical books. The father of the church, 3rd generation, 4th generation, Saint Augustine himself, he said, if anyone is not using these books, we excommunicate him from the church. So in one of the council of the church, Jerome, Origen, all these people use these books, and they take it and they take some of the verses in their writing. Saint Athanasius, when he talked about Jesus, one was the father, he used some of the verse from book of Baruch to answer back Arius. All these people, when they translate a translation of during the time of Bartholomew, the 70th, they call it Septimium or when they translated, and 72 people they was translating, these books was include this one. The Coptic translation of the Bible, these books was inside, and one of the very important resources when they cross-reference any verses. So this to show you the second canonical books, it's very important and should read by the church. I give a big introduction here, you will find in this book, but we need to go through this stuff. When we read Book of T0BIT in our church, any idea? In Passion Week, in Great Lent, week number 6, in Friday, in week number 6, the church, before they start the Mass, Abuna have to read all this Book of T0BIT. Have to read all of them. If you look in Book of Daniel, they got the story of Susanna. When we read the story of Susanna, in night of after Good Friday night, we come back, Lilit Abu Ghalamsis, of Klapsis, we have to read the story of Susanna. Another story of the praise of the 3 young men. We read it every day in Tasbihah. You found, and in Passion Week, we read a lot about wisdom of Jesus, son of Sirach, wisdom of Solomon. A lot of them we read in Passion Week. So we read it a lot. And Book of T0BIT, I said before, full. They read full version of the writing in before the Mass. They have movie now about Book of T0BIT, Magid Tawfiq, he done it. So it's a very popular. They start to people consider this one and they take it very serious. So that's the introduction of the second clinical books quick. Another 10 minutes I start the Book of T0BIT, but any question for the second clinical books before we go in? Yes.
Do we know why the Protestants don't believe in the...
It's a very good point. The Protestants, they not believe in this because they're not following their faith. One of the objections of this book, I will answer in the end, but one of the objections, the Protestants, they not believe in intercession of the saints. All these books was talking about the intercession of Saint of Archangel Raphael. That's why they're not taking serious. They said, we not believe in this. And another thing I will consider, remind me in the end, I will explain. I wrote already about 4 or 5 objections from the Protestant church why they not believe in these books, and what our church answer about their objection. And here in the end, every book I write the objection and our answer. Very good question. What else? Any more question? Okay. So how many books in Marina we got in our Bible?
73.
Very good. Mark, how many people wrote the good Rebecca? How many years took them to write? 1,600. James, how many verses?
30,700.
Verse.
Oh, no, yeah.
Verses.
30 something thousand.
33,000.
Okay.
How many chapters? 1,335. Very good. Very good. How many minor prophets? 12. How many major prophets? Anyone here remembers the name of the books? Tell me how many you know. The 9 books, tell me their name.
9.
Don't worry, I will ask in the end again to remember.
This 2, Maccabees.
Maccabees 1 and 2, yes.
And then there's Daniel.
Esther, compilation of Esther, compilation of Daniel, that's 4. T0BIT 5, and still 4 more. Wisdom.
Jesus.
Solomon. And Jesus, son of Sirach.
And
Judith. And book of Baruch. Baruch. That's good. Sirach. Okay? Alright. Book of T0BIT. What's mean of T0BIT? God compassion. Top, yeah, God compassion. Anything with yeah, that's God. Top, like Tayyib, that means God compassion. Alright? What's the story about? They took T0BIT as a captivity from his country. Nebuchadnezzar, the king, he took them as a captivity. That's why in the end of the story we know T0BIT, the father, he's the one write this book. The language they wrote, it's Aramaic language. What's the Aramaic language? You remember the Passion of Christ? When you hear, when they was talking, this is the Aramaic language. There's difference between the Hebrew and the Aramaic. The Hebrew, that's a formal Hebrew. The Aramaic, that's the language that's like that slang they use it the daily, in their daily life. T0BIT, he was be young. When they took him as a captivity like James, he was young. They took him, he's very strong, and they take him to help them. He was a decent, very nice person. He never received in the Mass. He heard the Mass from back to France, and he helping his people. They took a lot of friends. They took a lot of friends. Some of them because they want the captivity cancel. They said, who care about God? No one knows us here. They start to go out. They start to drink. They do whatever. But T0BIT, he was very faithful to his God and honest, like James. Okay? So he started to do his prayer. He started to give his tithes and was very nice. When he grew, he married one lady, her name Anna. Make sure Anna. Okay, look where is Anna and marry Anna. And after he got a baby, he called him in some of translation Tobias, or they call him T0BIT too. So we got T0BIT the father and T0BIT the son. Alright? Anna, she called him. Alright? And after this one, he was helping his people. The king is very upset from the Jewish. Everyone he disobey his order, he kill him. And when the king kill any Jewish, or when the king kill any one of the Jewish, the order to leave him in the street, no one touch him, so the rest can escape. But T0BIT, he feared God more than the king. He go at night, get these people, and they start to bury them. Go at night, get these people, and start to bury them. His friend started to warn him. He said, now you disobey the king too because you bury these people. And king, he said, don't bury them. He said, I fear God more than people. And sometime in the monastery, they have a monk, they call him T0BIT. This is the monk, if anyone pass away, he take him and bury him. Take from this tradition. And after one day, T0BIT coming back from burying a lot of people, he was very tired, he sleep in his lounge, a little bit dirt come in his eye, make an infection in his eye, take a little bit more time and he start to get blind. So imagine someone serve God, someone help God a lot, and instead of God reward him, he gets more temptation. So T0BIT was very disappointed and upset. And people start to tease him like Jew. They told him, listen, you help God all your life, look what happened to you. And he told them, I wait for my reward when I go to heaven rather than my reward in the earth. One day, because he cannot work, his wife starts working. One day she coming back from work very tired, and she got goat with her. She bought goat so they can kill in the feast to eat. He hears the goat sound, and he told her, did you buy this one or you steal it because you have no money? She started to get upset from him. She told him, I cannot steal this. Look what happened to you and start. He's very disappointed, very upset. And they start to pray to God and tell him, God, I cannot handle this temptation anymore. Please take my spirit. I doesn't want to live anymore. We stop in T0BIT story. There is another one here named Sarah in another city. She has a big temptation too. Sarah, she married for 7 times. Every time she married, the day of her wedding, the devil killed her husband. So what happened with her temptation? One day she told her maid servant to clean up something, she didn't clean it. She tell her and she screamed to her. She told them, why you talk to me like this? You will never marry and you will never have children. Sarah was very, very upset too. She went to her upper room and with tears tell him, God, I cannot handle this temptation. Please take my spirit. But look, both of them, they want to die because they can't handle the temptation, but God will have different answer. And that's too, to show us, sometimes we have a very hard time, sometimes we have temptation. The only one can understand us, God, and the only one can do the way for his way better for us, God. In which time? The time God sees the better for us. So T0BIT, he feel after his prayer accepted, so he start to get his youngest son and tell him, Tobias, come here, I want to tell you, you have to look after your mom, always helping the poor, always pay your tithes, you pray, read your Bible, all this stuff. But remember, long time ago, Tobias, there is one of our friends, he need money, I got him 10 bags of silver for his business because he had hardship. He gave me his receipt. Take this receipt, go collect this money because you will need it for you and your mom after I pass away. Tobias, the young one, he said, Dad, I don't know the way. He said, all right, see one of the men, he knows the way, we can hire him. He take you to show you the way to get the money and we'll pay him his wage for all this time he spent with you. Tobias started asking around the young one, anyone who knows the way to this city, anyone who knows the way to this city. They told him, yes, someone. He said, I know the way. He said, all right, can you come talk to my dad? So his dad, he saw him, he said, what's your name? He said, my name is Azariah. He said, his dad, he said, do you know the way? He said, yes, I know the way. He said, all right, that's the receipt, take my son with you, show him the way, and please get the money, and we'll pay you after we get the money. First day they was walking, in that time was not much transportation. They walk. At afternoon, his legs very dirty, so he stay next to the river, start to wash his legs. He found big fish coming to bite his legs. Tobias the young, he scared and go back. He told his friend Azariah, the one he shows the way, Mark, put the phone in your pocket. He told him, what happened? The fish can bite my leg. He told him, if this fish come back to bite your leg, take it out from the gills, from the gills out. So the fish coming to bite him again, he took it from the gills out. He said, this fish is very good for us. We can clean it, we can cut it pieces, we put some salt, can help us, we eat it in the way. We can cook some of them. And the kidney of the liver of this fish, if someone he blind, he can describe his eye, cannot see again. And the liver of this fish you put in the pool, if any demons we cast them away. So T0BIT, he said, all right, they took the fish, they started to clean it up, they picked it up, and they took it with them, and they're still walking. When they walk for 2-3 days, they come close to the city of Sarah. So Azariah, he told T0BIT, listen, there is one girl here, her name Sarah. She has a problem, and I want you to go propose to her to marry her. T0BIT, he said, how come? I heard she married 7 times, and every time she married, her husband died. I am the only child to my family. If I die, maybe you take the money and whatever. He said, no, listen, I will tell you who these people, the devil cannot control them. He said, the people they married, and they married only for lust, that's why devil cannot have authority on them. That's why the devil, they didn't touch Sarah, they only touched these people, because Sarah, she was very pretty and rich. So he went to her dad, told him, I want to marry your daughter. The dad was scared. He told him, listen, I know you're one of our relatives far away, but you know what's happening? He said, the Azariah, he get interrupted. He said, he's the only one can marry your daughter, and please. So the father said, all right. So, and the Azariah was the archangel Raphael, but he be formed in human. He told him, listen, I tell you what you do so the devil cannot kill you. First 3 days after you married, don't touch her as a husband and wife, just spend these 3 days in fasting and prayer. And this was in older days in the church, that was the wedding. The wedding, they come at night, they attend العشية, والhusband والwife attend التسبيحة، بعد كده يسهروا في الكنيسة until morning، وبعد كده during the mass أبونا بيعمل الwedding during the mass، والhusband بيسيرف as a deacon inside، والwife بتقعد في الهيكل بتاع الستات، وبعد كده بيروح المونستري وعندهم أوضة في دير مريمينا في مصر اللي بيقعدوا اسمها أوضة T0BIT، الhusband لوحده والwife، وafter the 3 days البريست بيصلي عليهم، you join each other as a husband and wife. That was the early church. One of my friends, he's a priest now. When he married, he done the same. And that's why we never have a problem with divorce. We never have a problem with what the reception, who get the cake, who do what, because it was a spiritual wedding. That's why in olden days the wedding was very successful than nowadays. So anyhow, back to our story, you found a big chapter about this wedding in olden days. What happened in this story after this? They married. So they start to pray, and the Azariah told the T0BIT, remember the kidney I told you put in the pool, will cast demons away. So Archangel Raphael cast the demon away from this home, and you know where they cast him? He said the end of the world. It was in that time, he said Egypt. They cast it away in Egypt. That's why Egypt have a lot of problem now. From this demon, he cast it away. They start to pray. The father next day come. He told his servants just to start digging the grave. We have a new one coming, you know. They started digging the grave and they're waiting. So they went to knocking the door. They found he still answered. The father was very happy. He's still alive, and he said, you cannot go. We have to celebrate. They go on the way. After this, they celebrate, big celebration, because her husband didn't die. The father definitely was disappointed. His daughter 7 times married. You know, she was cursed. And who can I marry her again? You know, something like this. They are celebrating. They stay for 2 weeks to celebrate, and she was very rich. So T0BIT, he told this Azaria, I'm busy now. I cannot go. My father-in-law is not gonna let me get. You get the receipt and go to this man, collect the money back. He went to collect this money, and they're coming back, and T0BIT, his father-in-law, he gave him his wife Sarah and gave her half of her money. He said, and they go back to their home. Azaria, the man, he coming with him. He said, when you see your dad, take this liver and describe his eye. If someone blind, he can see again. When he sees his dad, he give him hug, describe it in his eye, the scale, like something like fish scale coming down from his eye, coming down to his eye, and they start to see. And they start to see again. And so T0BIT was happy, his father was happy, his wife Sarah, she married and she was happy. So T0BIT, he talked to his father, Dad, what we can do with this person? He gave us our money back, he helped me to marry Sarah, she come and all this money, what we can do to him? He said, the best way we can do, because this man was honest with us, he gave us all this blessing, we give him 50% from all what we collect. So they started giving him 50% from all they collect. They found him, his face started to change, his wings started to go up bigger, and they told him, I am the Archangel Raphael. God, he sent me because he never forgets the good deed you done with the poor and these people, and he never can forget what you done to these people. That's why God rewarded me for what you did. Write all this in book, and so people will remember you forever about if anyone helping the poor, if anyone serve God, God never let him down, never let him down. And he wrote this in books. That's a quick about the story in 10 minutes. It's already this 16 chapter, we cannot cover in 20 minutes. One of objection of Protestant church about this book, he said, we cannot believe to tell us, if you get the liver of the kidney or liver of the fish in someone's eye, he will see again. So how we can believe in something like that? We tell them, listen, I believe what you say. Yes, if every time someone blind, I got the liver of the fish scribed in his eye, he's not going to see, definitely. But what happened, we have to look in the Bible. Human have body and the soul and spirit. When Abuna, if someone sick and Abuna and come home and anoint someone with oil, and this person healed, who healed him? His face, or Abuna blessing, or the oil? Faith. So we can say Abuna blessing not gonna help. We're not gonna say the prayer or the blessed oil not gonna help. If all of them together they can help. Okay, very important. I get you a story from our Bible. Have a look, open your Bible. 2 Kings, chapter 2, verse 19 to 22. Second King, chapter 2, 19 to verse 22. This is the Syrian, the chief of the army, this man who was leprosy. But Elijah, he told him, go swim in this water, go down in this water 7 times. Your skin can be perfectly after this. And he went in the water 7 times. Michael, can you read for us, please? 2 King, chapter 2, 19 to 22. Yalla, Michael.
Please know the situation of the city is present, as my Lord sees, but the water is bad and the ground down. He said, bring me a new bowl and put salt in it, so that water is to be. Then he went out to the source of the water and passed through the salt there, and said, thus says the Lord, I have healed this water from it, there shall be no more death or barrenness. So the water remained healed this day according to the word of Elisha.
That's right. Oh no, this one about salt. People coming to drink from water with poison water. So Alicia, they tell them, don't worry about, just to put some salt, and this water, what's going to happen to the water? The water heal. The water be perfectly, you can drink. But if we bring any water and we put salt, poison water, the salt can do anything to the poison? But the body have to see something the human done, he be comfortable, and the faith of the person, the blessing of the person, all this together can affect. Another story, nice one, in 2 King, I think 4, chapter 38 to 41. What happened? People went to eat. When they went to eat, they found only zucchini. Book of 2 King, chapter 4, verse 38 to 41. They found poison zucchini. So when they found the zucchini, they start to eat. The zucchini was poisoned. So they told the man of God, the food is poison. He said, don't worry about this. Get a plate of flour and throw it in the pot and cook it, continue cooking. And after eat. After they start to eat, they found the zucchini alright. But what the flour do with the poison from the zucchini? Michael, can you read for us? That's correct verse? Yeah.
And Elisha returned to Gilgal, and there was standing in the name that the sons of the prophets sitting before him and said to his servant, put on the large pot and boil stew for the sons of the prophets. So one went out into the field to gather herbs and found a wild vine and gathered from it a lap full of wild fowls. And came and sliced them into the pot of stew, though they did not know what they were. Then they served it to him to eat. Now it happened as they were eating of the stew, that they cried out and said, men of God, there is death in the pot, and they could not eat it. They said, then bring some flour, and he put it in the pot and said, serve it to the people, that they may eat. And there was nothing harmful in the pot.
Okay, so how the flour can take the poison away, but the body need to see something. That's why they believe. Well, I end with nice story. One lady, she widow, she had a very small boy, play outside his, the small village, play outside, and when he was play outside, some trucks go back reverse, hit the guy, nearly die. People was screaming to the truck to stop. They stopped the truck, scream and shout. The lady, she coming out from her home, she found her son nearly died. They took him quick to the hospital. And in the hospital, the doctor told her, listen, he got a big, problem in his skull, brain, bones broke, and a very, very serious case. We're not sure he can be alive or not. The lady, she was crying and crying and crying. Another lady was next to her. She told him, listen, my son, his two legs broke, and I went to the church next to this hospital. A priest is called Abu Nafshoy. I went and I tell him, he prayed for him, and thank God his leg, now it's good, the operation successful, and a couple of hours I will take my son and I go home. She told her, where is the church? She said, the church just next to us, 2 streets from here, let's go. The lady, she went to look for this priest, his name Abu Nafshoy. In another hand, in this, كان عندهم مهرجان الكرازة. عارفين مهرجان الكرازة اللي زي دلوقتي كان في Egypt. With competition, a play competition between the church. And in this competition, the play was one guy, he was playing to do a priest. One of his play was, he had to do act as a priest. But the original guy, he's supposed to act as a priest, he didn't come. The guy he was doing the play, he not gonna find anyone. He found only one guy. This guy, he come to church hardly, he smoke, he do this and that. But because he not gonna find anyone, he said, you the one come and we do the priest. I only want you to know this 4 line by heart, that's it. So the guy was, they put the makeup, he start wearing his beard, all the stuff. And the lady coming, she asked, where is Abu Nafshoy? Where is Abu Nafshoy? She can't find. And she found this man as a priest. She told him, you Abu Nafshoy, please, I want you to say one word to my son, he can get healed. So everyone was quiet, and this the one he acted priest. He found the lady cry and kissing his hand, come down to his feet, please, my son dying, tell him something. Tell him my son cannot be still alive. He said, all right, go, your son cannot be alive. The lady went back to the hospital, and she was waiting and crying. After 4 or 5 hours, the doctor coming out from operation room, he told her, you know, you lucky, you have a miracle. We don't know what happened. Your son's operation was very easy. Your son is still alive and he will recover very quick, he be good. She was very happy. She was looking for the lady. She told her about my son, his leg broke. She wants to tell her to thank her because she told her this advice. She asked the doctor, doctor, where is the lady her son was, his leg broke, or her phone number? He said, there was no one here. She said, the lady, I talked to her in the morning. She said, no one here. The doctor told her, in 4 days until now we haven't got anyone come broken leg. The lady, she said, maybe the doctor busy, he doesn't know. She went back to the church and to thank this priest, Abu Nafshoy. And she was looking for Abu Nafshoy. She found this guy, he just finished his play and coming. She told him, thanks Abu Nafshoy, kissing his feet, kissing his hand, you saved my son's life. The people, they told her, he's not Abuna. They started to take the beard off and told her just the person who was acting. She cannot believe. And this guy, he said, I did this miracle. He started change. And the one who was smoking, the one who was doing this one, he said, lady, I just was acting, but I saw your tears. That's why I said you go. And for the faith of the lady, for the God, he organized all this one. To heal this boy, for the faith of the lady, and this person who was acting the priest, he changed too. So to tell you, we cannot take something for granted for everything. Like the Protestant said, if we, every time we put, you know, liver of the fish to someone eye blind, he can heal, he never can happen. Elijah, when he put a flower in the zucchini, poison zucchini, can heal? Never can happen. But the miracle, something you need to hear, something you need to get touch or, you know, to feel. So when you go, you can, God's working the miracle like this lady with this one. Glory be to God forever and ever. I mean, any question? Thank you. You got your time correct?